Hello, Michael here. Looking today at Psalms 85 for our devotion, a psalm which may be subtitled, Revive Us Again. We're focusing on verse 2 and 3 for our exposition. Let's go ahead and read those two verses. Verse 2. Thou hast forgiven the iniquity of thy people. Thou hast covered all their sin. Selah. In verse 3. Thou hast taken away all thy wrath. Thou hast turned thyself from the fierceness of thine anger. And as we turn to the treasure of David for the exposition, let's go ahead and read verse 2 again. Thou hast forgiven the iniquity of thy people. Thou hast covered all their sin. Selah. And Spurgeon exposits. Thou hast forgiven the iniquity of thy people. Often and often had he done this, pausing to pardon even when his sword was bared to punish. Who is a pardoning God like thee, O Jehovah? Who is so slow to anger, so ready to forgive? Every believer in Jesus enjoys the blessings of pardoned sin, and he should regard this priceless boon as the pledge of all other needful mercies. He should plead it with God. Lord, hast thou pardoned me? And wilt thou let me perish for lack of grace, or fall into mine enemies' hands for want of help? Thou wilt not thus leave thy work unfinished. Thou hast covered all their sin, all of it, every spot and wrinkle. The veil of love has covered all. Sin has been divinely put out of sight, hiding it beneath the proprietary, covering it with the sea of the atonement, blotting it out, making it to cease to be. The Lord has put it so completely away that even his omniscient eye sees it no more. What a miracle is this! To cover up the sun would be easy work compared with the covering up of sin. Not without a covering atonement is sin removed, but by means of the great sacrifice of our Lord Jesus. It is most effectually put away by one act forever. What a covering does this blood afford! In verse 3 that reads, Thou hast taken away all thy wrath. Thou hast turned thyself from the fierceness of thine anger. Thou hast taken away all thy wrath. Having removed the sin, the anger is removed also. How often did the long-suffering of God take away from Israel the punishments which had been justly laid upon them? How often also has the Lord's chastising hand been removed from us when our waywardness called for heavier strokes? Thou hast turned thyself from the fierceness of thine anger. Even when judgment had been most severe, the Lord had in mercy stayed his hand. In mid-volley he had restrained his thunder. When ready to destroy, he had averted his face from his purpose of judgment and allowed mercy to interpose. The book of Judges is full of illustrations of this, and the psalmist does well to quote them while he interceded. Is not our experience equally studied with instances in which judgment has been stayed and tenderness has ruled? What a difference between the fierce anger which is feared and depreciated there, and the speaking of peace which is foretold in verse 8. There are many changes in Christian experience, and therefore we must not despair when we are undergoing the dreariest portion of the spiritual life, for soon, very soon, it may be transformed into gladness. The Lord can clear the darkest skies, can give us day for night, make drops of sacred sorrow rise to rivers of delight. Yes, 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 how merciful and graceful our God is. Turns our sorrow into joy. Oh, what a great and mighty God. Trust you enjoyed the meditation. Michael here declaring yet again, Jesus is Lord. Until next time, peace.